And welcome back. It is officially day one of War of the Sparks spoilers. And geez, we got a lot to go over. Now, should note, we have a couple cards. I'm using MTG Salvation. We've got a couple cards, for example, like a lot of cards that got spoiled yesterday that I'm actually not going to go over because they're going to get official spoilers later on. And I'm just not, I'd rather talk about them then because they were not officially spoiled. It's just funner to do it then. But so we got a lot of Planeswalkers, a lot of stuff going on. So let's just get down to it. Now, they did say, Mark Rosar did say in his article that all the color pairings will have a hybrid mono planeswalker that represents them. So as it stands right now for them, we have, if I'm not mistaken, we have Kiora right here. We have, not Dovin Bond. Who am I thinking of? We'll get to it in a little bit. We have Samu is the Gruul. Kiora is the Simic. Kaya is the Orzhov. I'm trying to. There was one other one that got. Obviously Golgari for Vraska. There was Boros one has not been spoiled yet. Boros has not been spoiled yet. I'm trying to think of who we have left to spoil on those that are going to be there because Dak Faden would fit that color category, but as far as I know, he doesn't have a card in this set. Ashiok will most likely be the Dimir one. Oh, who am I missing here? Well, we'll get to him when we get to him. Right now, let's just go over it. So we have Kiora. Behemoth Beckoner is a 1 hybrid mono green blue Simic colors. 2 of any color, so 3 altogether. Static ability, whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. You can pay -1, untap, target permanent, and 7 loyalty counters to start with. Kiora is actually pretty good. Now, obviously, in a limited environment, you're going to need big creatures to make her, at least 4 mana costing creatures, or 4 power costing creatures to make her stack ability worth anything to play. But overall, I mean, that high loyalty, 7, that only costs 3 and her ability only costs 1, you can get 7 uses out of it, provided she lives. Kiora's actually really good. Kiora's actually always been pretty solid now that I think about it. I have both versions of her, and both are pretty good. Teferi Time Raveler. Now this is why I'm not doing those not 100% confirmed cards, even though we know they're probably almost 100% confirmed at this point, is that they're going to get spoiled anyway. So Teferi Time Raveler is 1 blue, 1 white, 1 of any color for a 4 loyalty planeswalker. Rare. Static ability, each opponent can cast spells only anytime they can cast a sorcery, so it basically nerfs instant speed, which is good. Right off the bat, that makes him usable. +1, until your next turn, you can cast sorceries as those they had. Flash, that's fine, depending on what you're using. You can make a deck with that. Or -3, return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment into its owner's hand, and then draw a card. So, right off the bat, he's got board removal. You can only use it once unless you're able to pump him up and protect him. But still, he's got board removal. You get to draw a card, so that's an advantage. He protects himself when he comes out. And Teferi's good. Teferi's solid. He's cheap. He's easy to play. He's easy to cast. I would use Teferi, no problem. Rising Populace is a 2/2, 1 white, 2 of any color for a human creature. Whenever a creature or planeswalker, and I'm just going to move my camera a bit here. Whenever a creature or planeswalker you control is put into the graveyard or dies, put a +1 counter on this card. If you're running a Super Friends deck, say, and you actually make the deck legitimately, not like in limited, you're going to need something to give it this thing an ability. Otherwise, it's just a beat stick that can easily just be blocked and whatever, chump block. Give it trample, then you have something going on there. In the limited environment, this is something that I can see becoming a big problem real fast for someone because there's going to be so many planeswalkers around, there's going to be so many other creatures around, creatures and planeswalkers alike. So ultimately, it's actually a pretty good card. We have now. We already knew this, but Rosewater explained in his article that there are spells, be them creature, instant sorcery, whatever. Karns is actually a land that represent an aspect of the Planeswalker at lower rarity. And apparently each of the Gatewatch has a triumph. Liliana's triumph is actually a open house. This is the open house promo. We don't know the flavor text behind her triumph. I don't know. With the trailer, it's implied Liliana may croak. She may get the axe, but we don't actually see her die in that trailer. Let's be clear about that. So it's possible she lives. on her triumph, maybe she does manage to escape the binds of her contract. If you look at the art in this real briefly, she doesn't have any of the ruins on her face. So maybe her contract does get somehow voided, and she's released from Bolas's clutches. So possible. But at instant speed, you have a 1 black, 1 of any color. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you control a Liliana Planeswalker, each opponent discards a card as well. It's a good card. Even if you don't control Liliana Planeswalker, it's each opponent sacrifices a creature. It's board removal. It's fantastic. It's not even destroy. It's board removal. Dovin's Veto, and this is the F&M promo version of it. Dovin's Veto is 1 blue, 1 white. For an instant, the spell can't be countered. Target non-creature spell, so it's a negate in 2 colors that can't be countered. So would I say it's a strictly better negate? See, the only issue with it being a strictly better negate is the fact that you're stuck in 2 colors. You have to play at least 2 colors. And they have to be the specific colors. So on that, but the can't be countered thing is better than standard negate. So I'll be honest, I don't think I would say it's better than negate, only because of the color restriction on it. But still, Erratic Visionary is 1 blue, 1 of any color for a 1/3 human wizard. It's a good body. You pay 1 and 1 blue, 1 of any color. Tap it, draw a card. That's discard a card. Yeah, that's about right. It's a loot. It's not looting. It's because looting is you discard a card. That's looting. You draw then discard instead of the vice versa with a red. It's fine. I don't mind. I don't really go in for the looting stuff very much, but it's fine. We get a standard 3/2 for 3 and zombie nog. It's fine. It's okay. Karn's Bastion is a rare land for no, it's a rare land for mana. No, it's a rare land tasked for colors, or you can pay for and tap it and proliferate. In Planeswalker decks, that's gonna be pretty good. That's gonna be something you will want. You will want this card. No matter what you do, you want this card. You pull this card in limited because remember, especially in the pre-release, each pack has a Planeswalker in it. So if you want to somehow have all your Planeswalkers and you pull this card as one of your rares, you're gonna have a good time jacking up their loyalties. Then we have these guys right here. We have Burning Prophet. I like the flavor text on this. This day will end in death, but not the one you hoped for. This day will end in victory, but not the one you expected. See, who is she talking to? That is the thing, because she's got, if you can't really see it, well, you can kind of see it on the camera. There's the skull of I believe, a Eternal in there, if I'm not mistaken. But she's a human wizard, 1/3 again, 1 red and 1 of any color. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+0 until the end turn, then scry 1. Which essentially means she almost has prowess upgraded, but I'd say this is better than prowess because you get the scry, and it stacks. So you can continue to scry, continue to pump her up. She's actually a really good card. She's a common. That's a good common. I'll be down for that. That'd be going in some decks I have. Honor of the God Pharaoh is 2 of any color, 1 red for a sorcery, common. As an additional cost, discard a card. Pretty simple. And then draw 2 cards and amass. So essentially, you're getting a 1/1 for 3, and you're drawing 2 cards. Well, you're technically drawing 1 card, but you're drawing 2 cards. You're refreshing your hand. This is a good card at common. The amass cards, I think, are going to be overlooked. I think the amass. Amass was one I wasn't certain of when I first saw it, but I'm definitely digging it the more cards I see for it. 1 second, there we go, get the lighting on there. We have Cruel Celebrate, 1 black, 1 white for a 1/2 vampire. Whenever this card or another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And I love the flavor text. Whichever side wins, I'm sure the banquet will be superb. It's like, I don't give a crap. Come on. I don't give a F. Sorry. Get my tripod there a little. There we. Ooh, that's a nice. Oh, that's a nice angle right there. I like that angle. We get the reveal of who this is, the Wanderer. Now they don't reveal who this is per se, if they actually have a name beyond the Wanderer. But it's a 1 white, 3 many color planeswalker for 5 loyalty, -2 ability. But first off, her, and I'm pretty certain it's a her. Static is prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to you or other permanents you control which means this thing would give my red deck I have a red deck that has a lot of, burn spells. This will give any deck that uses a lot of burn and damage spells a big problem. And then -2 exile target creature with power 4 or greater. This is a really good card. I mean, you can only get 2. Again, take out the proliferate and this. Look at the Planeswalker as a whole without the ability to add more counters on it. It's essentially these whole static things, static effects work kind of like enchantments, except you can attack them and get rid of them. But the fact is, she can get rid of a 4/4 on the field. She can get rid of anything with 4 or greater power. But the fact that she prevents non-combat damage means you use a certain amount here, a certain amount of abilities, and you have a couple cards in the field. You could have an impenetrable board state depending on how you work things out. I like this card. I also love the artwork. And then you get Wanderer's Strike. I love how Lavinia also says precise, clean cuts. Precise, clean cuts. No one saw anything again. Tag the report with my code and file it. So that is a sorcery. So sorcery speed, unfortunately. 1 white, 4 of any color for sorcery, which exiles a target creature and then proliferate. Expensive, especially at sorcery speed, but you're getting rid of anything on the field, not just a 4/4, anything. So there's something like a couple 1-drops or 1/1s or 2/2s that are going to have effects that are going to be a problem. This thing gets rid of it, and it proliferates your Planeswalker. So, or creature that uses a +1 counter, depending on what you're doing. And then we have Crush Descent. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2, amass 2, and it's an instant that costs 1 blue, 3 of any color. So essentially, you can counter a spell. At 4 mana, you're probably going to late game this or mid game this, which means they're probably putting in more mana or more into their resources. So they're probably not going to be able to counter the effects. So you're countering a spell and you're getting a 2/2 on the field or pumping up an existing creature. I very much like this card. I can't say if I would use it or what I would use it, what deck I would use it in, but I like this card. Whoop, let's get Kaya in the frame here. Kaya, Bane of the Dead. Love that name. 6 mana, 3 of any color, and 3 Orzhov hybrid. 7 loyalty. When your opponent and opponents and permanents you control. Okay. Opponents, yeah. So opponents and permanents the opponent's controls with hexproof can be targeted with spells. Basically, she negates hexproof. And -3, exile target creature. The hexproof, I don't know how relevant the hexproof thing is going to be. It could be very relevant. It could not be relevant at all. Focus in on there. Come on, focus in. Oop. Let's get the camera on there. There we go. Focus. There we go. Focus. Yeah, it could be very relevant. It couldn't be relevant at all. The other ability, exile target creature is great. That's just straight out exiling. So that's good. But you can only get 3 uses of it. Even with proliferate, it's going to be hard to get 2 uses. Even with proliferate, it's going to be hard to get an extra 3rd use out of it. Who knows? Maybe it can work. And then you get Kaya Ghost Form. 1 black, enchant creature or planeswalker. When the enchanted permanent dies or is put into exile, return it to the battlefield under your control. I love this card. This card is sick, particularly because you can put it on any planeswalker you have. And you can put it on any planeswalker you have. And it will come back with all its starting loyalty again. This card is awesome. This card goes in your planeswalker deck. If you have it, you use it. Absolutely, I'm 100% for that card. And I'm not a big black player, and I love that card. I really like that card. Samut, Tyrant Smasher. That's a great name. Though she's really not a Tyrant Smasher, let's be clear. 2 hybrid mana, Gruul, 2 of any color. 5 loyalty, creatures you control have haste, and you can -1. Target creature gets +2/+1 and gains haste until the end of turn. Scry 1. Tell me something. How is it? And I've seen the original Samut. It's okay. It's not amazing. How is this card better at such a weaker thing? How is this thing so much better? Really break it down. Really break it down. You'll probably have some creatures on the field. You probably will. At least one, which means if you play whatever creature you play, you can immediately give it haste because it already has haste. Then you already pump it up +1, +2/+1, and it gains haste, which till the end of turn, which actually doesn't make any sense because creatures you control already have haste. But whatever. And then you scry 1. You can get 5 again. ideal scenario, you get 5 uses of that, and that's assuming you don't proliferate or increase the loyalty at all. Salmon's awesome. Salmon's good. I'm down for playing that. And then you see Salmon's Sprint, which is basically her plus minus ability. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains haste until the end of turn. You scry 1. So essentially, you can, with the combination of these, yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do here. So I'm completely 100% for that. Then you get Gideon's Triumph, which is 1 white, 1 of any color. Target opponent sacrifices a creature that attacked or blocked this turn. If you control a Gideon Planeswalker, that player sacrifices 2 of those creatures instead. And this triumph came not from victory over his enemies, but from the salvation of those who survived. Good for him. Yeah, it's like not much I can really add to that. And it's a good card. It's an instant 1 white, 1 of any color. So yeah. And then you have and we finally get Vivien's Arcbow, which is not an equipment, surprisingly. 1 green, 1 of any color for a legendary artifact, and I'm gonna guess every card, there's gonna be a legendary artifact in each color because there's colored artifacts again. X, tap this card, discard a card. Look at the top X cards of your library. You may put a creature card with confirmed mana cost of X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. I've seen a lot of people get excited for this. I think it's okay. I don't think it's amazing. It'll be good in a commander deck, definitely. I'd have to wait and see about their other styles. We get Teo, the Shield Mage, who's going to be a main character in the War for the Starmark novel. 1 white, 2 of any color. You have hexproof, so Kaya actually negates this guy. And then -2 with 5 loyalty. You create a 0/1 white wall creature with the token with Defender. Speaking of which, Teo's Light Shield is a 1/2 is a 1 of any color. 2 of any color, 1 white, 0/3. Illusion creature. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1 counter on target creature you control, which means in theory you could actually make this a 1/4 and you have hexproof. And you can create another wall with Teo. So Teo's being a shield mage makes sense in terms of what we're getting from. Then we're just going to pass these real quick. Ooh, there we go. We'll talk about Vivien in just a second. In terms of protection, I wouldn't expect him to have too much offense. So Vivien, Champion of the Wilds, is 1 green, 2 of any color for a 4 loyalty creature. You may cast creature spells as though they had flash. Okay. +1 until your next turn, up to 1 target creature you control gets vigilance and reach. Pretty good. And then look at the top. At the top 3. What the? I'm sorry. I gotta actually increase the size on this one because frankly, it's actually hard to read this one. This one's a little blurry. Look at the top. Yeah, okay. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Exile 1 face down and put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. For as long as it remains exiled, you may look at that card and you may cast if it's a creature card. So essentially, it's giving you the ability to cast your creatures from exile. Oh, we got a couple new cards too, which is awesome. Oh, and perfect. We're on the last segment of the spoilers for today. So there you go. 1 second. We had. So Vivien's fine. I can't say I love Vivien, but I don't hate Vivien at all. Then we have Vivien's Grizzly. 1 green, 2 of any color for Bear Spirit. Bar. 3 of any color and 1 green. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, put it in your hand. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your library. It's a 2/3 for 3 with an upside. It's a good card. That's all I can really say. It's a good card. Davarel, Rogue Shadow Mage, I want to believe his name is. 1 black, 2 of any color, 3 loyalty. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in their hand, deals 2 damage to them, which I have a deck that would work perfectly in. And then -1, target creature or target player discards a card. It's okay. It's not amazing. He'll be pretty pooped out real quick. Davril Shadowfuge. 1 black, 3 of any color, sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. There you go. Last but not least, we got Teferi's Time Twist, which is a 1 blue, 1 of any color, instant. Exile target permanent you control. Return that card to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of your next end step. And if it enters the creature, it enters the battlefield with a +1 counter on it. That's fine. It'll protect some things, that's for certain. It's a time-shifting card for a reason. The safest place for you is not now. And then finally, Kiora's Dambreaker. Or Kiora's Dambreaker. 1 blue, 5 of any color for a 5/6 Leviathan. Enters the battlefield proliferate. So this is just a good card because you get a beefy 5/6 for 6, which is fine, but then it proliferates, which bumps up Kyora's ability, and Kyora's ability triggers off of this. So that's the thing. All their cards work off each other perfectly. And Kyora's works really well. I would love to get Kyora in this thing in my set, because green blue is the colors I like to play. But ultimately, yeah, that's my thoughts on the spoilers for today. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superhero Magic, what if, anything I do on the channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. Look, there'll be spoilers throughout the week because this is going on for 3 weeks worth of spoilers. I'm giddy, right? I always love new sets, and this thing is just looking sick. So I can't wait to continue going on this. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.